I'm on a quest to find music and art. Supporting local talent is the place I start. Yeah, this is our culture, the place to be. Games, books, arts and crafts and jewelry. This the guardians of the geekery. 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 And now for today's episode of Guardians of the Geekery with your hosts, Matt, Carol, and Joey.
Guardians of the Geekery, video edition and audio. So if you're not on audio, what do they do, Joey, to find us on video? Is it Charlie Geek?
So if you go to charlottegeeks.com, there is a part that says podcast. Click on that. You can watch the podcast. It'll also take you to our YouTube channel. So please subscribe. It was really embarrassing to realize I hadn't posted anything on that channel in 4 years. So now we have a sweetheart of a deal. Just go right over there. You could be in the top 50 subscribers. But we are getting the word out, and then it will be coming out on iTunes. We had a slight issue with the audio posting, but we will be fixing that this week. So,
and if you go to YouTube, you can see a flamingo in the picture.
Yes, special thanks to a fan who knows I like flamingos and sent it over.
Oh, hey, Joe.
But hey, along with the cat and the dog that we had on the last episode,
yes,
we have a different type of cat this time.
Oh.
We have Cat McGill from Leveled Up Geek. So, hey, Cat! Thank you so much for being on the episode, and we're so excited to have you. So tell us a little bit about Leveled Up Geek and what it is and what you sell.
Sure. So I make earrings and ear cuffs, and I make them in all sorts of geeky, nerd adjacent themes. I try very hard to make them for not just women, but anybody. And I include different things to kind of set my stuff apart a little bit. Like I make just ear cuffs, for example, for people with gauges or non-pierced ears, things like that. So I like to make statement pieces, things that'll kind of spark up a conversation. I know a lot of us geeks are also introverts, and we can find it hard to engage in conversation with people that we don't know, especially like at conventions and things. But I've noticed that when people wear my earrings, they tend to get questions, and those questions lead to conversations, and they lead to deeper connections. So I've even noticed it when I wear them myself, just to the grocery store or whatever. So I make a variety of different things, from dice to celestial earrings to dinosaurs. I've got a variety of different collections available right now. Sorry, mine just went blank there.
No. Hey, listen, you went longer than we do sometimes.
It was really good. Now the ear cuffs, so those are like for people without pierced ears, you were saying. So
yeah, and so ear cuffs, they usually people wear them clipped up to the top of their ear. I've got a little. If we can show examples now, I've got an example of one of my dice. It's a little mini D20.
Oh, so cute!
And it can clip up on the top of your ear. And some people, it all depends on your ear structure. Some people like to wear them down in the lobe. Yeah. It all depends.
I still have my closed hole here from when I went to a mall and when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What is your jewelry primarily made of? What is the main material?
All the metal that I use is hypoallergenic stainless steel, nickel free. My ears have gotten fairly sensitive to different metals, so I find if I can wear them all right, chances are good most people can. There are some people who still have issues with them, but for the most part, I've found even people with really sensitive ears can handle it.
Oh, good.
Sensitive ears. And so true. Like, especially when we went through the pandemic and all that stuff, and all of a sudden we found ourselves being very virtual. Not only in business and Zoom meetings and stuff like that, but just to chit chat with people. I know that like Carol and I, when the pandemic first happened, started doing like lunches together and stuff like that. And having the personality in your earrings, or, like I have the toppers for my glasses, it just becomes like something exactly like what you said, that as an introvert sometimes, or as somebody who can be socially awkward, because I can talk a lot, but I can be really socially awkward. Having something to be able to to identify like tattoos or jewelry or hair color or whatever, and be able to comment about it and get in a conversation is truly helpful. And just being able to see, oh, look, that person might be somebody who would accept me because they've got, a D20 hanging from their ear. So I know that they must be a little bit into gaming or know somebody who's into gaming or something. So, unless they're like wearing it because somebody made them to, but it's like
usually not going to be the case.
Yeah.
I usually, when I actually went to the office, because I am currently remote, but my earrings were kind of the only way I could express my geekiness because we were business casual. But it always helped to have, like a pair of dice or just some Doctor Who earrings or something, just to show that, it's business casual, but I'm still a geek. So I love the geeky earrings.
And it's not just, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I started getting the inspiration started growing from it when I was an elementary school teacher before I had kids. And, you have to dress professionally and all that. But I found that if I wore a fun pair of earrings, the kids would be much more engaged. And so when I started making these, all of a sudden I started calling them my Miss Frizzle earrings, because now I'm wearing a big dinosaur skeleton, and kids see it. My own kids now are just like, oh, mom's wearing the dinosaur ones.
Yeah, my nieces are all about my earrings. They're like, what earrings are you wearing today, Aunt Jo? That and my toppers. They like to help me pick out which topper goes better with my outfit. So
when you were saying introvert, I saw Carol. I thought Carol was raising her hand, but I think she was just has her hand up for some other reason. But I'm like, I don't know if an introvert raises their hand, even does that. I'm not quite sure. So I think you graduated above introvert, Carol.
I'm trying to keep a cat off camera.
Yeah, Angel's like lying down now. She started off next to me, but she's like, you're doing that recording thing again. I'm just gonna sit over here. So so it's not just earrings though that you'll be selling at the market. Tell us what else you have. So show us pretty things.
Sure,
Go for it.
Pretty things. Yeah. So I have my earrings. I've got my dice earrings, and I've got them in a couple different styles. I use mini dice, so they're small. They're very light. This one, it's the full set.
Oh, nice.
7, but they dangle and they're very light. But they make a nice click clack in your ears as you walk and move your head. But then I also, for people who like a little more glamour, it's a chain set. So
you can put the cuff and then
you put the cuff, and then it does have a piercing, and they dangle down, and then the other side is just a single D20. So on the other ear you just have a D20, but then over here you've got the rest of the set. So it's like they're kind of falling down.
I think that's the one you should get, Matt, because you could reopen your whole one.
I do too. And then if a game breaks out, I just
for now, man. Just come prepared.
I am not making any promises, but I have had numerous people now buy a pair, buy a set, then come and see me at the next show and say, I've been wearing them to different D&D nights, and my rolls have gotten better. So I'm not making any promises, but
you heard it here first.
So much love into the earrings, it comes out.
Promises, wink, wink. But you will win. You will slay the dragon. Yeah,
you will roll a 20. You will. So those are different dice ones that I'm bringing. I also have my very, very popular my dinosaurs.
I do love the dinosaurs.
Yes. And I've got them in a variety of different styles. They're very elegant. So for people, especially like maybe they need something a little fancier, but they still want to have some fun.
Yeah.
You can wear a dinosaur. And most of my styles, I have them available as the chain cuff set, or then I also still have just a dangling pair that'll be similar, because I know not everybody's into the cuff look, but like here's some of my like
that's me. Ones. That's my style.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How did you get started in jewelry making?
I got started, I was probably about 15, I think, is when I seriously got started. My friends and I, we just, we had our seed beads and some wire, and, we were making like those little, the beaded lizards out of pony beads, the little
Oh, yeah.
geckos
Mhm.
things back in the 90s. Yeah. We started making those out of seed beads, and then that turned into making necklaces. And then I just kind of went with it. We were making flowers, we were making all sorts of different things. And then as I grew and kind of changed what I liked working with, I started to morph away from like necklaces and bracelets and going over to earrings more so. And then I started focusing in on that. And I started realizing I don't really like using the teeny tiny beads, but I do enjoy using natural stones, like, and I enjoy using freshwater pearls, things like that. And I also enjoy using like crystals and glass too, give it some extra shine. So I just like mishmashing some things together, but I like making it look still fairly elegant. I like when people can wear a geeky earring, but it's still very much like a workplace appropriate sort of a design.
It has that little extra to it, so it's not just you didn't just stick.
It's not just
you just didn't stick a D20 on a wire and go done.
No. And like I do have some of those because that's what some people are looking for. But in general, I like to put some charms with it. I've got some that pair the dice with some charms, and they're perfect for your druid characters or your wizards and whatnot. So
that's awesome. Cool. And you are accepting pre-orders, correct?
I am. Yeah. So, if people have a certain type of dice that they're looking for, if they can always message me. They can always go on my Etsy shop and look and see what I've got available on there. I try to keep that inventory as up to date as possible. So if somebody sees something and they say, oh, I'd like to get this, but I don't want to have to just order it online, can you bring it? Yeah, I'll be happy to set that aside for them.
Yeah, it's kind of nice if because there's so much that's going to be at the Geekery Market this year, especially. It's just being able to set up some pre-orders so that you don't have to panic that what happens if I don't get there before she sells out. If you've kind of got one already reserved for you, then you're good. So definitely to their advantage. And we actually do have your information on the Charlotte Geeks website. You did a spotlight article with us as well as being on the podcast today. So if people go over there, they can find all the little connections for Leveled Up Geek. Because you said you're taking pre-orders if they contact you on Instagram or Etsy, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Carol.
And this is, go ahead.
So if you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to the podcast and not watching, you can go and see the spotlight and see pictures, pretty pictures.
That's right.
Yeah, very pretty pictures.
Carol, do you want to do a pre-order for some cattail earrings?
She wears cattail earrings all the time. They're just connected to the cat. So.
Yeah, they'll show up behind me and just pretend they're jewelry.
Joey needs some dog paw earrings too, I think.
But this is not your first market with us. You have been to the market before.
I haven't been to the Geekery Market before. This will be my first.
But you've been to the pre-iteration, the Muggles Market.
Well, I was going to back in February, but it ended up being the same day as my daughter's birthday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I had to bow out of that one, but I'm very excited to come to this one.
Yeah, we're very excited too. So I was like, I need some other people that have been to kind of explain it because, we call it real life Etsy for geeks because all the stuff that you go and find on Etsy, you don't have to go through the pain of waiting for it to ship to you and all that kind of stuff. You can just buy it right there, but it's definitely stuff you wouldn't find like in the big box stores. But yeah, it's more than just the market, it's more than just a market, which is what's kind of fun about it. So, and I don't know if you heard the rumor, but we've got Jedi Santa Claus is going to be there, so you can get a picture with Santa. So, so if there was anything in particular that you wanted to tell people about your store and your stuff, what is it that I know you talked about trying to make it inclusive for all? Is there anything else that you want to tell people about your products or your store? Just put you on the spot,
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything I haven't already said. Yeah.
Well, certainly a good variety, I think, for pierced and unpierced folks. I think that's always helpful because I know there are people that just sometimes it just bothers their ears or their ears are shaped differently. Mine definitely are not the same. Right's different than left, so I think that's appreciated. So you can have some of that, whether you want to be a little geeky, a little silly, a little elegant, it seems like you've got covered pretty well. So that's good.
Well, and I also have a line of Pride ear cuffs as well, in a variety of different of the flag designs, with some sort of little geeky charm associated with them. So I will definitely have those with me as well. So
good.
And some stickers too, right? Like you'll have some Pride stickers. Did I say that in the job?
Yes. Thank you. Almost forgot about my Pride stickers. Yes.
And just in time for the holidays. So, these make great gifts, and
exactly.
And you can come and get them and have something sparkly and shiny under the tree. So.
And some of my Pride stickers they're subtle, like it's Bigfoot, but it's in front of a Pride flag. But if you don't know, you don't know. So it's a nice subtle way that you could put that on your water bottle, and maybe if you're not in a place where that's okay, well, you can still kind of it's out there as a little beacon for those who know, but it's subtle.
Let people know you're an ally.
I try to keep things, I try to keep things safe for people. As somebody who was not able to be out for a very long time, I try to keep that in mind as I'm designing things, that not everybody is okay to be out. So
and this is very much an inclusive market. So we want to make sure that everybody knows that everybody is accepted, and discrimination will not be tolerated. So it'll be a good, safe place for people to come. Because it's not just Christmas shopping. We understand there are a plethora of winter holiday markets. So this is your chance to come out and be able to go to a shop that is not just going to be focused on December 25th. Like all holidays are going to be represented. So it's a good chance to come out and really be able to do that. And right at the beginning, I know everybody will be sad with Halloween's over, so we figured we would be the event right after to make everybody happy again. So. Well, Cat, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Could you please tell people one more time, like, where they can find you online?
Yeah, my Instagram is at Leveled Up Geek, and my Etsy store is also called Leveled Up Geek. So if you go to leveledupgeek.etsy.com, that'll take you right to me.
All right. And make sure to come out and come find Cat on Saturday, November 4th at the Cabarrus Arena and Events Center. But check her out beforehand. Get your pre-orders in, because I know some of those things will go pretty quickly. Do not put the earrings on the flamingo. I think that will not end well for the flamingo.
You want that flamingo after that.
No.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. Bye.
All right, thank you.
That was an episode of Guardians of the Geekery. Thank you for listening. Check us out at guardiansofthegeekery.com and stay tuned for more content.